And therefore, I want to bring in Zeenat Shaukat Ali. Zeenat ji, this bill is coming through for debate. We must look at it in terms of representativeness. You have been at the forefront of reform. Now, here are people who are saying that there must be no change. And my view is this. Why are people saying this? It is because some people are making a lot of money. I'll put out that graphic about market rates for Waqf land and the land at which it is rented. Can I put that out, ladies and gentlemen? A simple example I would like to put out. In the name of Waqf land, these people who are owning or controlling the Waqf trusts are putting the rental income into their own pocket. This is lifelong income. So something that is worth 7 to 8 lakh a month on paper is rented out for 5,000 rupees a month, which means the rest of the 7 to 8 lakh a month goes into the pocket of the people controlling the Waqf board. So this is nothing about religion in my view. This is pure and simply, Zeenat ji, about business. Something where the market rent rate is 2 lakh a month for a 300 square yard plot in Delhi, right, is rented out for 1,700 rupees a month. The rest of the money goes into the pockets of the people controlling the Waqf. It is lifelong income for these people. And therefore, they are very disturbed. Zeenat Shaukat Ali, unfiltered, your views on the Waqf Board Amendment Bill.
Thank you for inviting me to the show, Arnab. It's been a while. Now, I think that to start off with, let us start with this, that Islam has never hindered any kind of progress. It has opened the way to progress. It is asking you to live in the 21st and 22nd century. It is opening your minds out. And as far as coming to the Waqf bill is concerned, there is no, there is absolutely no doubt that there has been a lot of corruption regarding it. I mean, the people who are in charge of the Waqf have not made sufficient money. The money they have made has been pocketed. A lot of land has gone here and there. It is very vague, it is very uncertain, and nobody really, as you have pointed out, the poor have suffered, and it was a Waqf actually is given away in the name of God to help the poor. A Waqf would mean, education, it would mean employment, it would mean land not to be used and utilized for one's personal needs, but for the need of the community, which I have not seen happening. And otherwise, why would there be so much poverty when Muslims own so much land? When you have acres and acres of land which you have owned for over so many hundreds of years, what have you shown as a Muslim, as a practicing Muslim, to show that you have benefited the community in any way? So I think this entire understanding and the arguments that have come against are created from a myth, and those myths have to be cleared. You see, there are, as you have pointed out, there are no women to be included there. They have never been included. Now you are being included. Personal land is not being taken away. There are certain definitions that have been provided by the Supreme Court to say that this Waqf land is under consideration. There have been amendments brought to the Act that when there was only a district person, looking at the Act and bringing about changes, now it's gone to the courts, so that if there is any dispute, I think it's moving towards fairness, and when it is debated in open parliament, it should be encouraged. Let there be transparency. Let there be understanding. You cannot be thick-headed and close your minds and say, only I am right. That is not correct. That is not the position that Islam has ever taught you. And it has taught you how to move ahead, how to go on with your life, and how to help the country to grow also, and you as individuals to grow in that country. So here we have, we have had a controversial bill. No doubt there have been certain, certain clarifications that have been required. I think very gradually those clarifications are being offered, and the clarifications are coming in. And so therefore we have to give this matter due consideration and stop this corruption. You see, Islam is dead against corruption. What was the month of Ramadan and charity all about? It is about distributing your wealth. It is about sharing. It is about caring. So we, the people of India, have to learn to share and care and to see that we hold this property, hold this land to the benefit of the Muslims and to the benefit of the country and to the benefit of all concerned. So I think, that a sheer kind of an opposition to an act of this nature is not to be countenanced. At least I genuinely, as a Muslim, as a very humble Muslim, oppose such opposition that comes and is taking you towards reform. Now, if you feel that the government is going to take away all your land, it is telling you, and I have the amendments right here before me, to say that no such thing is happening, and therefore why are these myths being created? For instance, it is said that no personal land is to be acquired. It is said that the bill applies only to properties which are declared as waqf. And you have to understand that when was it given away, there is a certain legality concerned with the land that is given away, and when was it recorded and how was it given away, I think, which are perfectly legal and a question that need to be answered. It also says that it does not affect any personal property that has not been donated as waqf. So you see the clarity one has to understand and read in the lines in between. You see what the Supreme Court has said and what is going on to be an amendment. Unless you know that, and until you know that, and most of all, I think only assets voluntarily and legally dedicated to waqf are covered by this new act. So one has to be clear. Have you got that clarity?
Have you got
when the
Iftikhar?
Supreme Court is coming in and the Supreme Court is giving you certain guidelines, as to how women should be included, where the divisions are coming in, what is the user state, I think you have to consider that the Supreme Court of India has gone into this with some detailed understanding, and as a citizen of this country, you cannot just take it and say, no, this is anti-constitutional. I think that is a grave error, and it gives it gives the Muslims itself a very, a position that Islam does not promote. Islam promotes you, it tells you to widen out, it tells you to understand, it tells you, yes, if there are objections, raise them logically. Get the answers. It is the debate, the government is not saying that the debate is not going to be put on the floor of the parliament, it is. So raise those questions which are important and necessary for clarifications. And there is no land taken away from you. There is just one, thought I have, Arnab, which I should like to share. And that is, you see, what has come into the Muslim mind is that every endowment in our country, there are so many, there's a Jain endowment, Buddhist, and there's a Parsi and Hindu and Sikh and Muslim. Each one has its own governing body. And when there are non-Muslims included in that, then that, a clarification as to will other endowments also in the secular democratic republic like India also prevail. So there's a law has to be for all people, as it is for the Muslims are not, as you say, distinguished. They are not separate citizens. They are part of the citizenry.
That's the whole debate.
And whatever the constitution says, one has to be ruled by. So when we introduce that understanding, because this is a doubt that comes in, that will the government take away the land? What are the concerns? Now those have to be very logically and reasonably put, and I'm sure that they will be answered in the same way and in the same spirit they're asked. So I don't see why we are getting this so het up about a progressive understanding about overcoming corruption, about helping the poorer sections of the Muslims to get education, getting Muslim women on board, which I think is extremely important, which we have not had. I mean, Muslim women are nowhere on the scene really, where Muslims are concerned. We may be on other teams, in parliament, but we are not. We have to be on these teams also. So one has to consider these factors in all earnestness and seriousness, and not just take, create myths and misunderstandings, give out misinformation and create doubts in the minds of the public. I have been asked this question recently by very dear friends of mine who are non-Muslims, and I have, they have put their points forth, and I have given them my arguments as to why I think one way or the other, and
Yeah.
how I support this bill. And there are a couple of questions in my mind. Now, for example, the courts are taking over any kind of dispute, and I'm happy about that. Now, the other question that was in my mind is that in a secular democratic republic where we are all equal, will all endowments have, a mixed group sitting? Because these will be experts.
It
So
was all
there are
planned.
non-Parsis
Let him
also,
out.
non-Sikhs also who are experts. And that was my only concern. And I think that we have to be together with India. You cannot oppose everything that the government is saying. When in 75 years, when you did not bring about reform, when you were given ample
Your Waris,
opportunity
you are muted.
to abolish the talaq, you have to
Waris, you are
agree
muted.
with the government that they're doing something good.